Welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and I'm with Jonathan.
What's up?
And Squeaks. 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 All right, echo. Today we're going to dig into some... Today's mostly just going to be about news. We're going to talk about the free games you're getting with March. We're going to talk a little bit about Sacramento Comic-Con coming up.
Nice.
And we'll talk about the Xbox, Nintendo Switch news. So I know this is about 2 weeks old from that news coming out. We really wanted to just wait until we could just devote an episode to it. So, and let's dig into some news. For Digimon Adventures 20th anniversary, they are bringing in a new Digimon movie.
What?
A movie? It was just going to be like a
Digimon
CGI slash
No,
Pikachu?
it's going to be an animated movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It'll catch up on the original cast. It's going to have all the original kids and their Digimon. They'll be around the age 22. The original one was created in 97. And the reason it was created, I didn't know this, was it capitalized on the Tamagotchi craze.
Really?
You remember Tamagotchis?
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
everything. And then when you think about digital monsters, okay, I get it. Yeah, digital monster. Okay, it makes sense. This is going to be them all in their young adult phase. The Digimon look the same, of course. But
So wait, there was a Digimon movie already? I remember the
there's
TV
been,
show, but
there's been some low budget Digimon because
okay.
the thing too is it's not like Pokemon. Pokemon, when a new movie came out, we went to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
Digimon, less so.
yeah.
Although, man, Digimon had a really good PS1 game. They were outstanding. That not a lot of people played. I know Daniel did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I played the PS1 game too.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. It was fun. I liked Digimon though back then. I think I liked it a little more than the average person.
Yeah.
I wasn't super sold on. I mean, no, of course not like Pokemon, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed Digimon.
That's hard because it's always been in the Pokemon shadow. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, but it's not Pokemon type of thing like that. You know, everybody says. But I really like it, and what's funny is the images that we're getting from it, from what the adult versions look like, are all from that Jump magazine that I told you about when we did the Alita review.
Oh yeah.
There's this crazy magazine that I need to subscribe to somehow. That's in Japan, and this one now is called The Jump Animation Magazine. And it's this magazine that's from Japan, and it has all the latest news and animes and stuff like that. It's all in Japanese, but to me, it's like a piece of art, dude.
Yeah.
It is the most stereotypical Japanese thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just so many words on one page.
What is this called again?
Jump magazine?
Jump magazine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
look
look it up.
It's like somebody took a box full of Japanese letters and just threw them on a page and let's put a picture of an anime there now.
Bright
and
colors and
it's so
pop
crazy.
everywhere, yeah.
It's like they're trying to sell you 100 things at one
I
time.
just subscribed.
You did?
Yeah, I see it though. I see it.
It's just so funny that it's
It's
a
just
lot of stuff.
super colorful and whatnot.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It is it kind of gives you a headache, but kind of I have to own that. It's so
Is
crazy.
it all just
cool.
anime?
From what I've seen, yeah. I think
You know what's kind of weird is that they just had that game come out called Jump Force. I wonder if this is
Oh shit!
a little
dude.
thing to it. Yeah.
I bet it might be.
And
I
it's
bet
all
Jump
anime
means
characters.
something. Now that I'm thinking about it, Jump probably means something different to us than it does to them. So maybe it's Jump means Japanese animation or something like that.
Maybe,
To
yeah,
them.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm all about that. Maleficent 2 title has been revealed, and the release date moved up closer.
Yeah, I just barfed. Again.
I thought you liked Maleficent.
No, I hate that movie with a passion.
I literally
like the
was like,
character,
oh,
but
okay,
not
this
that
will be something
movie?
Squeaks will like.
The character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you like Maleficent from
Oh,
Disney.
I love Maleficent. Yeah, the
Yeah.
original, whatever. This movie, I was like, going in there, cool, we're going to get a super dark side of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. The first scene, she's flying around like a little fairy. I'm like, okay, I'm already done. And then she ends up being the good person. I'm like, this is not
Nah,
what...
not
I mean, of
much.
course you're trying to change it, but I was hoping an evil side of Sleeping Beauty. I was like, this is going to be cool.
Right.
Well,
But not at
okay.
all.
I thought you loved it. Well, I was excited to share this news with you. But anyways, Angelina Jolie is returning for the Disney sequel, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Will she be green this time?
Yeah, she'll probably be green and CGI'd into be a Wookiee with her. Anyways, so it arrives October 18th, 2019, so you don't have to wait too long, buddy. Yeah. You're excited. Here's the original synopsis of the story. It'll say, this new fantasy adventure continues to explore the complex relationship between the Horned Fairy and the soon-to-be Queen as they form a new alliance and face new adversaries in their struggles to protect the moors and the magical creatures that reside within it.
So now they're a team.
Yeah, they're teaming up.
done.
It's going to be a
I'm
buddy
done.
cop drama.
They're oh yeah.
That's what it is.
They're gonna go do the beat and all that. Yeah.
It's going to be like Shrek and Donkey.
Why do they do this to a classic villain?
I
don't know the logic. What are they trying to do?
Resell it to all the kids?
I haven't seen the first movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Have you seen the first Maleficent?
Yeah, I don't remember much of it though.
That's bad sign.
Yeah, it's a bad sign.
But I just don't understand why would they flip an iconic villain that they advertise all the time during Halloween.
Yeah, it's a
for
staple.
You know, yeah. So why are you flipping
huge in
character?
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially 3. She doesn't show.
I know. I gotta
have
finish
you seen
it
a
up.
little.
Have
you seen her, right?
Yeah.
She's like that the whole time. She doesn't do anything, but I think it's something next. I don't want to ruin it, but it's for the next one.
So there's not going to be a next one, right?
It's going to be a whole new storyline.
Okay.
If it comes out when we're still alive.
I would like that. I would like for them to delete all the story that they had already. Just throw away that hard drive that had that story, and then just go full on new.
Yeah, because it's like a continuation, but it's kind of like a rebirth of DC Comics. Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
So, of the three of us, just a quick update on Kingdom Hearts. Did you have anything else on Maleficent, John?
No.
Okay.
I don't think anybody has to.
I didn't want to cut Jonathan off because
it's good.
He's like, actually, I had a full paragraph, but not anymore.
So, just to show this, we had planned on doing a whole thing on Kingdom Hearts, and we probably will at some point, but of the three of us that bought the game to play it, I have only gotten maybe a third way through, maybe halfway through. Daniel can't even get into the game at all, and you finally beat it.
Yeah.
And are you excited about it overall? Like, were you super happy with it?
No, not at all. But
Boom.
To have a completed story and the ending that creator still doesn't give you a 100% happy ending. It's still a little something. It did make me want to go in a dark place because I was like, it's finally over. Like, I want to cry, but it's not shedding tears yet.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, I'm happy, but then they teased me with a little something.
Okay.
Not getting into it, but I felt, I don't know, just sad because it was kind of over.
Okay.
So,
well,
it needed to be over.
That just shows you the state of that game, though. I mean, I think it was just so much disappointment from us looking forward to it so much. All right, next up, Sherlock Holmes 3. Release date was pushed back. It's pushed back to December 22nd, 2021.
Sherlock Holmes 3, which one are we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking Robert Downey Jr.
No way.
Yeah.
There was a number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I love number 2.
I guess not.
That's good.
I haven't seen that one.
So Robert Downey...
to watch Sherlock Holmes 2.
Okay, I watched Bumblebee. Did you watch the one that...
You watched Bumblebee?
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
It was good. It was good.
Better than the other ones, right? Well, maybe
fair.
the first one could be kind of up there.
Well, okay,
but...
I can see the first one because the first one was like amazement, but it was definitely
but
better.
The beginning
than
was great though, huh?
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. I liked it. It was good.
What was
Characters.
I supposed to watch though for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Tomb Raider. That's right.
You didn't see Tomb Raider.
Is it out yet?
It's been out forever, man.
Okay, I'll watch it.
You can watch it on HBO.
Is it on HBO?
HBO? Yeah.
Okay, I do have that.
Okay.
Another note to self.
You got many notes to yourself. So anyway, Sherlock Holmes 3 gets pushed back a year. Both Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law have been talking this up for a long time. It's going to actually be an entire decade between 2 and 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I really like these movies. I liked Sherlock Holmes movies.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of a newer take on it, more of a Robert Downey Jr.-esque, really.
I want to see Robert do different things.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Man,
I mean, Iron Man was his redemption.
I liked him in Due Date. You know?
He was really good at Due Date.
Yeah,
Basically, playing
He's
trains and automobiles too.
Yeah.
Which I need to rewatch that movie again. I got to get my wife to watch that movie.
We've been talking a lot about John Candy because he came. By the time this one comes out, it's been the 25th anniversary since his passing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
according to this recording. And he has been. I've been watching his movies again just because it's like, man, he was like everything to me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's been nice kind of looking back at all his work. It's been really cool. So, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. What a movie! Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, this will be a little bit of a wait, but as long as they do it right, I'm happy. And I really like those movies. Those were really good movies. Jude Law, I think, was better than he was in Captain Marvel. Metal Gear Solid movie director wants Oscar Isaac to play Snake, and Oscar Isaac wants it too, so this might happen.
Who's Oscar Isaac again?
Oscar, am I saying that name right?
Yeah.
He's okay. So he's the one. He's Poe Dameron from the newer Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
he's good.
This is something that Daniel's really big into. Did you like Metal Gear Solids?
I do. Some of them, not hardcore like Daniel.
How do you think Oscar Isaac would do playing?
I don't know. Facial features though, if he keeps like his hair, I can see the bandana being wrapped around his eyes like that, and he keeps a 5 o'clock shadow. I think he could look the part, but I don't think he's tough as Snake though.
Well, my big thing
I've only seen him as Poe. So
yeah. Well, he's done a few other things. I mean, I know you're a big fan of him in X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh God,
he played Apocalypse in that.
No, he was Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Mind blown again.
We're blowing your mind every week,
my
folks.
gosh.
That is my new goal, is to
That
blow
was
his
him?
mind every time. Yeah.
Maybe he can be a hardcore guy then. Maybe he can. I think I have some faith.
Redemption.
We have some peeking on that. I hope I can turn it
Do I
right now.
hate that movie? Yes, but do I think I did not know he played him? I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
maybe he can play Snake.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to look up one.
Speaking of which, we just saw the trailer for the new X-Men movie coming out. I didn't think I'd be interested in it at all, but I think that looks pretty good. With
Really?
with Jean Grey.
Well, that's one of you.
I want to see it. I might not go to theaters for it, but I definitely want to see that movie.
Opening day, you got all the legroom you want in that theater, I promise.
You all by myself.
I haven't seen the last one, Apocalypse, actually. I haven't seen
Yeah,
Apocalypse.
I'm interested to see where they go with the story, because now that they've built this cast of younger X-Men characters, I mean, they have good actors in those roles, so I mean, they can pretty much do whatever they want with it.
That's part of the reason why I don't care to see it, is because I know these characters aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Marvel bought them, so they're done, basically. But I want Sansa to do good. I want her to do... I can't remember her real name, but anyways...
Jean Grey.
Well, no, I'm
the
saying
actress.
actor. Yeah,
that
actress.
doesn't matter.
I want her to.
Doesn't matter.
I want her to do well in like other projects.
Yeah.
And I think she was a pretty fair casting for Jean Grey, but I'm just not excited about it. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Metal Gear Solid, I think the storyline's gonna be hard. All Metal Gear Solid stories are just freaking wackadoo.
They're just random. So I don't know how people will take that. I mean, of course, to us, we're like, oh, it's weird, but we enjoy it. So I don't know how the normal person would be like, what the hell?
Well, yeah, everybody's got like 10 names and stuff like that. It's really tricky.
I doubt they'll go that route, but...
It reminds you of Kingdom Hearts now, actually.
But even without the names, it's kind of like, hold on, there's robot stuff in here? I mean, I don't know.
There's a lot of craziness. All right, so that's pretty much it for movie news. Jonathan, you got some TV news for us?
I do. So I know you guys are huge fans of Arrow. Right?
I am. I know you're saying that sarcastically.
I'm not. It's
I
so
am.
gay.
Oh my god.
I've tried so many. I've only tried twice to watch it, but it just couldn't hook me. Anyways, they announced that season 8 is going to be their final season. So
it's going to be a limited run too, right?
Yeah, it's only going to be a 10-episode season.
Yeah, normally they're like 22 or 18, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so they're just cutting to the chase. They're like, you know what, we're dying. We're going to hurry up and cut it off before it gets too lost.
Would you say that about Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones is doing just 6 episodes.
Yeah,
we're just cutting it off.
Yeah,
no,
but
they're going out with a bang.
They're an hour and a half long, though, right? They're a lot longer, these episodes?
Game of Thrones are longer episodes. Yeah, they're a little over an hour.
But they're smart. That's a fucking barreling steam engine that's in the right direction.
Arrow could
everybody
do the same thing, and you're saying like, no, they're just puttering out.
They launched an arrow, and they know it's gonna land, so it's arcing down. Yeah. It's on its way out.
This is a good arrow being launched by the Boltons. This is a badass arrow. Okay,
right.
So
I'm not excited about it, but I know you are.
All right, let me defend it a little bit then.
All right.
Arrow is the one that launched the DC CW shows.
So successful.
Very successful, yeah. You're right. I mean, you can't argue the success.
No, yeah.
Bunch of damn haters in this room. I enjoy them. I'll admit that they're superhero soap operas. That's what they really are. When you watch them, if you were to binge them, because I preferred last season, I'm going to watch them as they come out because I want to experience this way. I've always binged them before.
Yeah,
they're not as good. You have to binge them. But it's kind of funny when you do binge them because like one person will hate this person, then like 2 episodes later they're like now they're working together to hate that other person. Very soap opera-y, I'll give you that. Yeah. And of course they don't have a big CGI budget because they don't. Arrow especially doesn't really need one.
Mm-hmm. What other series does it tie in with Arrow?
Flash, Supergirl, and Black Lightning,
and
Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow is like, wow, what a surprisingly good show.
Whole other Justice League in its own.
Yeah, but it's like a really fun one. It's a really cool one. They got Constantine on there now. Yeah. Constantine also ties into it, I guess, too, if you want to consider it. Because it only did one season, but the fans of it, including myself, are such big fans of that version of Constantine that they actually brought him in on all the other stuff, too. So,
can I bring up something about Constantine real quick? I saw this.
It's not shit talking.
It's not. It's actually a legit question. Is the new, what do they call it? Like, Hell something from DC. Is that Constantine?
Hellraiser? Or no?
Is it?
Is it Hellraiser? Yeah, he has like...
That's Constantine, right?
Yeah, that's one of his main stories.
They just didn't call him that, so I was like, okay, this looks like him, but is this... Okay.
I want to say it's Hellraiser. Question. His like main story that they actually used for the first season is... I think it's called Hellraiser.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah, because I saw a rebirth of that, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll get into it if that's the character, but I just saw that recently, so...
So this is they basically ran his story out. It was one of those things where you expected it to end after 5 years because they always look back 5 years. So you thought, okay, after 5 seasons, you guys will be caught up. You'll be done. They did a couple more, and arguably they have been very good. And they've been season 5, I think, might have been their best season yet, and they're really good. So it's sad to see it go, but I know that he'll be around. He's going to be in all the other ones too, because they always did a crossover episode.
And I like to see a series end with a clear, well-written ending, because I hate to see, it's sad to see shows like Lost where they just try to keep dragging it out, try to keep making money on it, and it just kind of ruins the franchise, because you had a great story that everybody loved, but you didn't know where to stop being greedy and cut it off and give people a satisfying ending. Yeah. So if you drag it out, you ruin what you had that was so good.
Yeah, so them knowing that they're going to do 10 more episodes, I think they're just going to do a really good, complete story.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it'll be a lot more crossover-y, which they always do crossovers every season, and it's always the best.
They'll tie up loose ends and help push the branches a little bit for other people to get into the series.
That reminds me real quick, Batwoman also. They're starting a new Batwoman series that's tied into all these two.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. I'm telling you, DC, it's good stuff. I think the best version of DC outside the comic books is the animated movies. But this is
for sure.
This is a close second. Yeah.
That's but like I talked about it a while ago, the DC universe, like those are good quality. Those are Netflix pretty much quality of the Marvel. They're just you can't get into them.
Can't get in.
They're just not that good.
Yeah, that's another thing. All those are actually considered tied in as well. They're by the same guys, so they'll be tied in at some point. So Doom Patrol. Have you watched any Doom Patrol?
No, I thought about starting the first episode, kind of quit the Titans and see how this one works. Kind of works out, but I have not yet.
It looks very Umbrella Academy from the trailers and stuff. Okay. Which if you guys listen to our huge rant about Umbrella Academy, I'm super on board with that. So I try to. By the way, John, you had talked a lot about it and you spoiled everything, right?
Everything.
And it was. And I listened to it again to edit it down, but I was just like, I agree with everything he's saying. I can't edit any of this down.
You should have.
So what I did, and the fans listening already knows because it was a couple weeks ago. What I did is I just put a warning in the beginning, like, guys, we're going to spoil everything for you. It's going to be a long one.
And shot by shot, I explained
so good,
like every bit of the show, not just like we did with last week.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, okay. Not just an open, wide.
John's like, opening shot. We see the rain coming in. But it was just like, I was listening to it again, trying to edit it down. I'm just like, no, I agree with on everything. I'm just going to keep it like it is and give the warning out because it was totally right. And I love that show. Cannot wait for the next one. Anyways.
What else I got? Oh, it's Twilight Zone. You guys heard the new Twilight Zone with
I'm excited.
What's his name? What's the guy's name that's running it?
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. That's it. So Seth Rogen's going to be starring in the upcoming
the first episode, right? I'm going to assume.
Probably the first one. It sounds like there might be bigger stars for all of them. It'll be kind of like Black Mirror in that way.
I just hope. I just hope it's one-off episodes and you don't see Seth Rogen multiple times. It has to be a new story every time.
I think it'll be one-offs too.
And it looks like we're going to have 10 episodes in the first season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
one of them is like Terror in the Flight or something like that.
Yeah, 20,000 feet or whatever.
They're going to try to redo that one?
Yeah, they're going to do that one again. And because that's a staple of the show.
So is this a season that's straight coming to Netflix?
CBS All Access. I honestly, as much of good stuff's on CBS All Access, the new Star Treks and all that stuff like that, I'm getting it.
I will not have Twilight Zone skip on me, so I'm gonna get it.
Okay. Yeah. We won't share passwords or not. Though.
No,
we'll each individually get it.
Yes.
Everybody pay for your own subscription.
I
love that narrative.
Just buy it around that time frame and yeah. But I will also buy it around that time frame.
Any other TV news, John?
Kind of. Sorry. Have you guys watched Deadwood, the TV show, the series?
It's a huge show that everybody's watched except for the three of us.
Except for us, yeah.
Deadwood?
Deadwood. Like, what is that?
Go ahead and read the news about it and I'll explain it.
Everybody else is screaming. So they're making a movie. Movie is to release in May. Says Ian McShane, I love Ian McShane. I think he's a great actor.
And the reason you love him is because this is where you're going to start.
Yeah. And that's why I feel guilty to have not watched this show. But like you're saying, it was a huge hit, so I'm pretty sure the movie's going to be huge too.
Yeah.
Let's see. 10 years later, 10 years older, 10 years more. Scotch down him. Oh, yeah.
That's a quote from Ian McShane himself.
Yeah, sorry. So not quite the man he was, but neither is...
Timothy
Bullock.
Okay, let me go ahead and... Sorry, John.
Sorry,
I know a little bit
I'm reading notes I'm not good at. So.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so Timothy Oliphant, he was on the show as well. Yeah. The idea is the movie's going to be 10 years in the future from when the series ended. It was an HBO series. And all the characters have changed because it's 10 years advanced. Gotcha. That's basically the idea.
Yeah.
Now, the old show was based off a true-ish story of the Old West, and I want to say it was Tombstone area, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what time or what place.
The Old West.
But it is a famously true story where, like, in the end of the story, the town gets raided and all this stuff like that. Well, the show got canceled before the final season, so we never got to see that part. The movie's going to answer that. And this is one of those things where, like, it's like Half-Life 2 for Squeaks probably understands that reference.
No, I haven't played Half-Life.
God almighty. Anyway, so just like Half-Life, everybody wants the next part, and it's crazy that the story cut off.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
That's what I meant. And so there's all kinds of memes out there, like, when's Half-Life 3 happening? When is Deadwood
There was
happening?
a written and planned conclusion of the story, but nobody got to hear it.
Nobody got to hear it. Yeah, so that's the whole point. This movie's going to be finishing it off. I personally will be watching all of Deadwood before the movie, and I'll do a per-season review of it. On the podcast.
Maybe I'll get in on that too.
Yeah, that way it'd be kind of a nice refresher. It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, it's top 5, top 3 HBO shows ever made.
Yeah.
That's including Sopranos. That's including Game of Thrones.
That's another one. It always looked good, but I just never got into it. But same with Sopranos. Always looked good. Everybody always talked about how great it was. I just never took the time to watch it. But I need to do that too.
So it's one of those things where it's like, it's a blind spot. I need to get to it. I have a few blind spots. I don't want to get into them because everybody's going to be like, holy crap, you haven't seen Vice. Or not Vice. What's the other one? Anyways, there's a few of them that are like that. But yeah. Gotcha. That'll drive me nuts not thinking that word. Anyways.
So I was looking on my phone before we were talking and whatnot. About something you guys had mentioned made me think of Snowpiercer, the movie, right? It's a really good movie. And then I started looking because I thought I heard somebody rumor that there was a number 2 coming out.
You heard about it on the podcast.
Was it? Are you the one that said that?
Yep, there's a TV show coming out.
Oh, okay, because I was looking up. I see there's a volume 2 book that tells a second story.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't find anything about a movie. So that must be what it is. This is the series you're talking about. Okay.
There's a prequel series coming out. It's starring... I forgot how loud that's going to be. Starring the guy who plays Trevor from Grand Theft Auto. He's also on the newer Walking Dead as Negan's homie.
Yeah.
He's gonna be main character in it, and it's gonna be prequel, like the early first days of Snowpiercer, which, from what we hear from Captain America's character, is shit gets real.
Cannibalism and whatnot.
Yeah, they eat babies.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's making it the fun part.
I know how you are with your babies.
It's terrible.
Seasoned salt. Any other news?
Nope, that's about it.
All right,
that's a lot of stuff.
And you have anything else? You got anything?
No,
video games
I got no video game news except for the roster of Mortal Kombat is official, but it's not
complete.
They pretty much said like, "Hey, we have a roster, but we're not telling you everyone yet."
Okay,
so
cool.
They released more characters like Jackie Briggs. I'm saying that last name right. And Cassie Cage. So they got like the daughters from the old one.
Yeah.
The last one. But that's about it, yeah.
If there was any like Spawn-esque characters, where they just throw in something unique.
Yeah.
Other than Spawn. I know Spawn's...
Because that'll be coming. It better be coming.
Is there any characters you want to see added to Mortal Kombat?
It depends if they keep it horror. If they keep it horror, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Pinhead.
Ooh, that'd be good.
He wouldn't move. I could see him like move slow, but have like just chains and stuff everywhere.
You'd have to move slow, yeah.
I could see a pretty badass fatality for him. He would have some nasty ones, but that's the one. I don't know if they stick with the horror stuff because the last one was all horror characters.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Could you see? Okay, I know there's a big thing for this. Mm-hmm. Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to entertain you with this. I don't get that one at all. Like, all
right, Mortal Kombat. I will buy your game if you throw Shaggy in it. That's the only way I'm going to buy it.
I don't get how you're going to have Shaggy. I don't know. Whatever.
Think of those fatalities, though. He throws a Scooby-Doo treat down the guy's throat, and all of a sudden here comes Scooby-Doo. That would be amazing, dude.
That would be kind of cool, actually.
That would be amazing.
Oh, man.
All right, so let's talk about... We have a couple things. First off, I wanted to give a shout-out. Jonathan, you had an artist that you wanted to bring light to. I might have given you...
Let me get her name. Yeah, you gotta give me heads up on this
Sorry, I had it written down in my notes, and I forgot to tell you ahead of time.
Denise Lydon?
Yeah.
Lydon? She's a artist who lately at least has been painting Star Trek paintings, and we had been messaging about them before, but they're really, really impressive. And so if anybody wanted to look her up, she's on Facebook. She posts a lot of her paintings. She sells them. She was considering getting prints made and sell prints so that more people can get them. But very well done. So I recommend for Star Trek Voyager is what she's painting now. But I'm pretty sure she is also a fan of Deep Space Nine, I think.
All right, and I'm gonna be picking up the Janeway one.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I told her I was interested. Then I was like, it's hard to. I just don't know where to put it. You got a spot here in the studio. It'd be great.
I'm going to be picking it up next month because all the money's gone from the studio. But
okay. I'll get you in contact with her. But yeah, definitely she has very nice art.
Yeah.
Very, very skilled.
All right, so I just wanted to give her what's the name again so everybody can check it out.
Denise Lydon.
Denise
Lydon. I don't know.
Lydon.
Yeah.
Okay, Denise Lydon.
Lion.
Yeah.
Just to be way off.
Denise Shoemate Lydon.
Okay, so that's something to check out, guys. Another thing I want to talk about is we have Sacramento Comic-Con coming up.
Yes, are we going?
I am going. I ordered the new shirt for it, Geeks Freak shirt that has the barcodes on it. You can scan it and go right to our things.
What the heck? They can scan your shirt?
That literally just came in, yeah. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's where we're going nowadays.
Yeah.
One of my pants.
I designed that. I'm just saying. I'm super fancy. I'm a little worried though because I have the stickers. We had the stickers we had from the top 5. Now we have Geek Freaks ones. Mm-hmm. And I also made ones for the other podcast, the Outlast podcast, which is doing strong. Guys, check it out if you like Survivors. Anyways, I ended up getting the barcodes mixed up. So where when you scan one of the Outlast podcast ones, it brings up Geek Freaks. So luckily these ones are okay. So I'm hoping the shirts didn't get mixed up either because might be busting out Outlast podcast on that. Anyways, they're both good. Yeah. Both good podcasts. Check them out. So the convention comes up March 17th. $10 to get in. It's at Cal Expo, which is nice. It's rooms C and D.
What time is it, or what time do you plan on being there?
I will be there. Hold on, let me pull up the times real quick. I was looking at it before. I didn't get the times.
While you're doing that, have they announced anyone that's going to be there?
I haven't seen any big announcements. I think it's going to be more about just like the small vendors. I think you see at a lot of Comic-Cons.
Yeah, which I'm okay with because I like to spend my money at them. So
yeah, I feel bad. I made plans for next weekend, but I really want
to go. You got to cancel those plans, bro.
You need to go to the next SAC anime.
It's
because
actually
besides it's just anime, it has a lot of stuff to be buying.
This one's ran by the guys who do SAC anime.
Oh, so then I hope it's comparable to it.
Yeah. I don't have a start time, Jonathan, but we'll be there. We'll be there. What the start time is, whatever it is, we'll be there. I'll be there.
17th. Okay.
So if anybody wants to get in on that.
It's a Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The artist alley's already sold out, which is pretty cool. That's where the people show off their, their art and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite things is to see people take a character I like. Yeah. They take a character. It's a lot like the Star Trek paintings. Yeah. They take a character I like and then they put their spin on it. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I've always wanted to see. Mm. I just don't have skills. So, and then you could also, the Hilton in Sacramento's got some deals on rooms too. They have that on the website. Check it out. Oh, wow. We don't need it. We can drive. But
yeah.
Oh, here it is. 10 a.m. There we go. So I'll be there 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And they'll have everything there. It's a normal convention, but this is a bigger one. This is a nice one. There's the Wonder one that's coming up later in the summertime.
That's in San Francisco?
Well, there's WonderCon that's in San Francisco, but there's also one that comes to Sacramento too.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be going to that as well. But we'll be there. Check out the Geeks Freak shirt. We'll be there in the Geeks Freak shirt. So hopefully we'll see some fans there and be like, hey, what's up? Let's talk video games or whatever. Yeah. That'd be cool. And $10 to get in. You can't. I love Comic-Con prices. They're the best. So that's really cool. Who knows how parking is, though? That is Cal Expo. All right. And I also wanted to talk about the free games for March. So if you have Xbox Gold or if you have a PlayStation, whatever the service is called. What's the PlayStation service called?
PlayStation
Network.
Okay.
Oh,
Net Plus. Yes.
Okay.
PlayStation Plus.
I know better than you. That's
you did. I was like, what was it again?
So if you have those subscriptions, you get free games every month. And we always like to tell you guys what those are. There's also a Nintendo one, but they don't release theirs towards the end of the month. The Xbox ones, you can get Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion.
What? Adventure Time?
I love Adventure Time.
Yeah, anyway.
I bought the Enchiridion actually like last week at Goodwill.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because it's actually written by Marceline's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool because it's written by Marceline's dad. She has notes in one pen saying like, this is nonsense, he ate my fries. And then like she lets Finn and Jake borrow it. So then Finn and Jake are also putting notes in there. So while you're reading it through him, you're seeing their contradictions and stuff like that, which is pretty funny. And so like one chapter is all like the useless people of Ooh, and it's all about Jake and Finn and stuff like that. And then they got nuts. So anyway, so Adventure Time's Pirates of Enchiridion. That's on the Xbox. The Xbox 360 free game you're going to get is Star Wars Republic Commando.
Oh, wow. I bought that for the PC, so I'm kind of excited to build my PC to download that again.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. That's a great game.
I didn't know they were still doing Xbox 360 ones. I know PlayStation canceled those now. I think it's all PS4 ones.
My next announcement.
Yes.
So, yeah, they are still doing the 360 ones. They'll probably cancel it soon. The fact that PlayStation did it, they'll have the reason to now. But if they're gonna do that, they need to. I want to see more Xbox One free games. I love the system. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
100%. I just don't. I mean, we're how many 4, 5, 6 maybe years in with this new generation. You could just stop now.
Yeah.
If you don't have a new system by now, then I don't know what to tell you.
Well, because next year we're probably getting the new systems for either of them.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so next up, PlayStation games you're getting with it. Like you were mentioning, there are no PS3 or PS Vita free games anymore. But the PlayStation games you're getting are pretty good ones. One of them is The Witness. It's like a puzzle game that did really well.
Yeah, we're on the island, right? And is that the one?
No, I think that's Myst.
Okay.
Am I thinking correctly?
I don't know. There's one where they throw you on an island. You're like, okay, go figure things out.
I think that one's Myst, but I could be wrong.
Is that the other one you're about to announce?
Well, no. The other game that's really exciting to me is Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That one's free, and that's worth getting. If you guys haven't played a Call of Duty, that's the one to get into. That's easily top 3 Call of Duties. Easily. And is remastered for that beautiful PS4 graphics. And there was a leak we had mentioned a couple weeks ago where there's actually Modern Warfare 2 being remastered right now for the 4K.
Nice.
So that'd be nice.
How about instead of remastering, they give me a Modern Warfare 3?
That would be nice.
I would appreciate that.
Maybe just reboot the whole franchise and stop making bad games.
Yeah.
Put campaigns in your games. The next one is going to have a campaign, they said.
That's good.
So
just start a new franchise. Call of Duty was cool, but put a seal on it and start something new that's a similar game but doesn't have not the same thing.
You're saying no more Call of Duties?
Yeah.
Just the war game?
Yeah.
Like
just
they got Battlefield that's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
But they don't own Battlefield though.
No.
Yeah.
My big thing is I just like the campaigns. I can't stand that they took the campaigns out of this last one.
They're so action packed and like a thriller, and now they're just.
I get that what sells them is the multiplayer, but having a campaign adds so much to the game.
The World War II campaign, to the last realistic one that happened, was super good, and they had Chris Pines, I think that's him. He was the main
I didn't play that one. I need to, though.
Or whatever. I think that was his name. Yeah.
It's on my to-do list to play that one. But I mean, the Ghost one was really good. One thing I always love about the Call of Duty campaigns is that initial level is always just a crazy set piece. That's man, what a good movie this would make.
Yeah.
The stories are always fun, and then there's always. It's kind of like the old James Bond video games where this one you need to be stealth, this one you need to be doing this.
Yeah.
And I remember very well, and I don't remember which one it was on, but there's that one where you're in the snow with the other guy in the ghillie suit, and you're slowly getting in on this one encampment, and you guys are taking turns. All right, you got to snipe the one on the left, and 3, 2, 1, and he's the one doing the countdown, and you got to pull a trigger in time. Yeah. If not, the alarms are going off.
Yeah.
But it's so snowy that you're able to kind of sneak around in the camp
under a bridge or something like that.
Yeah, there's a part where you're going under a bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great, but that's something you go and get through the campaign.
One thing I think would be cool to do with the campaign to keep people's interest too is release a chapter of a campaign. The first one you always learn how to use your skills and stuff like that, but then release another chapter every month or something like that.
Which is something that's being done a lot nowadays with other games. A lot of games are releasing chapter at a time.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That way, you get people interested, and then when they're done playing that chapter in the campaign, they go play multiplayer like everybody else does, but then, oh cool, there's a new chapter of the game, and come to find out with that comes this update that has some new weapons, so you'll find the new weapons in the campaign, learn how to use them. Now they're released in multiplayer.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It'd be like patches and updates to the game, but it grows as you update.
Knowing Activision will be a DLC, something you pay for. It'll be something the game is free. No, it won't be free. They're just that bad. But they'll be okay, for $10 you get the next chapter. Yeah. They'll do that. But that's a good idea though. It's still, even then, it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Before, it's not Chris Pine, it's Josh Duhamel, the guy who plays in Transformers.
Okay.
I know people will probably be like, what the hell are you naming it wrong?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that guy.
Way to mess up.
They look alike.
Yeah. They do. All right, so any other news you guys want to get out there? Anything like that before we move on to the next thing?
Have you guys seen on Netflix there's a show called The Order? That
I haven't seen it yet.
It looks like I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like a Harry Potter-esque kind of world.
Really?
Yeah.
Squeak's such a Harry Potter nerd.
It just looked kind of interesting. It looks kind of like an academy of magic students or whatever. I don't know. So I want to check it out. I don't know. I think
The Order.
Yeah, I think you might like it. I think Daniel would probably like it. It kind of has that supernatural vibe.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. So I'll probably be watching that pretty soon. At least I'll watch a few episodes and let you know next week if it was...
What's that review?
Right? Let you know if it's worth getting into.
Yeah.
Worth it. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's talk about something that has been, the best news possible if it's all true. Xbox Game Pass coming to Nintendo Switch.
But is it awesome?
You think it would be awesome?
So I'm thinking there's no way... okay.
Let me break down what's happening. Let me do a breakdown. Okay, I know you're already more heated than I expected. I'm excited. All right, so rumors are floating. Direct Feed Gaming, which is a YouTube channel that's pretty legitimate, pretty good rep. They're the ones that brought the Game Pass up. There's been a lot of news that Xbox Live is coming to Nintendo Switch. That's not so surprising. You can get Xbox Live for your phone right now, and that's a way to check out your friends, message them, get ready to go play a game, stuff like that. You can get it on your PC because Xbox branched out to the PC. Windows 10 plays a lot like an Xbox One now. The news is, and this is what came from Direct Feed Gaming, is that now Game Pass will be there. So what Game Pass is, if you're not familiar with it, it's something me and Squeaks both partake in. You spend $10 a month, and you get a huge library. It's over 100 games of Xbox and Microsoft games that you can play on your Xbox and or your PC. A lot of the games for PC is available as well. Sea of Thieves, especially for me, right? What do you think? What do you play mostly from Game Pass?
Right now, Crackdown 3.
I finished Crackdown 3.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's hard for me to continue right now.
You could finish it in 3 hours if you gave some effort. Yeah. It's a real short game.
Yeah.
Did I do my Crackdown 3 review?
No, I don't think so. I didn't hear it at least.
Shoot, I thought I did that in one of the episodes. Yeah. I'll do it at the end of this one, and then if I already did it, I'll cut it out.
There you go.
Nice. Man. Okay. Anyways, I'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, so... so the idea is that Game Pass is going to be coming to this. Now, how is that possible? The Switch is not as powerful as the Xbox, so how is this even possible? What they'll be doing is there are 2 games already we know will be, if this is all true, will be coming directly to the system that you could just download and play. That would be Ori and the Blind Forest, which is critically acclaimed. Mm-hmm. And the other one is Cuphead, which is insanely critically acclaimed.
Okay, yeah. That'd be cool to play that on the Switch.
Oh, yeah. That's a Switch game right there. I can't beat the damn thing, but still, it's so freaking hard.
So they will just have a select group of games that can be downloaded to the Switch that are made to me.
The other games, we're talking Gears of War, Halo,
there's no way. This is where I'm going to start talking shit.
Is streamed to your Switch. So the way this works, I'll give you an example. World of Warcraft has this. Mm-hmm. So while you're downloading World of Warcraft, it'll have a yellow and a green section. After you get in a red section, red means you can't play. Yellow means you can play, but it's not all there. Green means you're good to go.
Yeah.
So the yellow section, what's happening is you're playing, and whatever hasn't downloaded, you're streaming that part.
Yeah.
So say you walk into a city. I'll just say city since people don't know what Orgrimmar is. You walk into a city. And you look off and you see the bank in the distance. Mm-hmm. It's actually not downloaded yet, but they'll stream the texture pack to you so you can see it.
Yeah.
So that's the idea, is that you're streaming the game the whole time.
Yeah.
It seems crazy that that's possible, but in Japan, the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey is played on the Switch because they stream it the whole time. And you can watch footage of it and it looks solid.
So you need Wi-Fi.
You need to have good internet,
So traveling with my Switch, I'm pretty much on lockdown again, if I could just be at home.
While streaming, you can't even play it in handheld. You have to play it on the PC. Or you have to play it on the TV. So it actually has to be based.
What's the point of this?
It's not a mobile game at that point.
At that point, only the Cuphead and stuff like that is mobile. The streamed ones, the big dollar ones, are all...
So these are for people that don't own an Xbox then, maybe.
Think of it this way. What if you have your Switch in your bedroom and your Xbox in your living room? You now can play Xbox games on both.
You go to your living room,
I get my ass up and play Xbox. The only reason is because I'm sure it's going to outperform the Switch still, so I'll just make the step to my...
I see Squeaks is saying is if you're a family with kids and you have a Switch but you don't have an Xbox, but you do want to try out some other big dollar game.
Yeah, I can see that, but that's who you're only entertaining then.
Yeah.
Except for the people that I would be wanting to play Cuphead on the travel.
Think of it this way. So here's one of the things I was thinking of too, kind of what you're saying there, Jonathan, is if you are a family man and you're about to switch because you're trying to play for the whole family, but man, back in your younger days, you used to love some hardcore Gears of War. Mm-hmm. You could still play Gears of War and still be a part of that lifestyle without having to go buy an Xbox. It's because
it's a good thing, like we discussed last week, that they're going to make an Xbox One S without the disc tray, so you can just buy a cheap version of the Xbox.
But you don't have the time to invest in a whole system. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't play video games like the three of us play video games. Yeah. But maybe you're just like, well, like Jonathan. Jonathan's a good example. Like he just wants to kind of get into a game here and there.
Every once in a while, yeah.
And so the Switch is for the kids because the Switch is great for kids. It's a great toy.
Yeah.
But maybe you're like, man, I really kind of am itching to play this new Call of Duty game or this new Assassin's Creed game. So you just get that one game. You pay your $10 for the month. You play your Assassin's Creed. Maybe you continue for the next month because you're really enjoying it. And then you're good.
But you don't have to go spend $500 on a new system.
Or $60 on a whole game or anything like that, you know? Yeah. So it's one of those things where it could be kind of perfect for that situation.
I think at first I was expecting like the Gears of War and the Halo on the go, but it seems like that's not going to happen. I figured it wouldn't. I mean, come on, a Switch pulling off graphics like that.
It would kill the battery so fast.
Oh, I'm sure.
So to me, that's one of the, and I actually think this is true. I do think this is. I think this E3 is going to be lit. I can't wait for E3 because we're going to be probably getting new system announcements too.
Oh, it has to. Yeah.
What we've heard from the guys over at PlayStation, they're saying that like, look, we're kind of getting to a post-console world right now, and we're hearing that from both big manufacturing companies. Is we're getting to the point now where it's less about the console, more about the games and the libraries that we can bring you.
Yeah, and that's what PlayStation's trying to advertise a couple of E3s ago.
Yeah,
like this is where you're going to play the best games at.
From Sony,
which they do have better exclusives. I mean, to be honest,
this time around they definitely did. I can't argue.
This generation.
And so it's going to be exciting for the next one. And but if you think about it, like how Xbox has already done this, where you play your Xbox games on your Xbox, and maybe you just rather play it on the PC. You can because Windows 10 holds it. That is the best of both worlds.
They're trying to blend everything into to be compatible across all platforms, right?
Yeah.
So you can have what you want whenever you want.
And that's amazing. Now the selling point would be who has the best games. Exclusives.
Do you think this relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo is going to continue if this is successful beyond that into other realms? Or
I think it really will. They play well with each other.
Nintendo needs the help too. In America,
Microsoft needs the help too because
it's a good partnership.
Here's a trick. Microsoft, so in China, which is a growing market and everything because they got a lot of people over there and they're starting to become more open to outside resources, they do not allow console games. You can't buy a console in China.
Really?
It's all PC.
Wow.
So this ability to stream onto the Windows 10 has been a way to bring what previously was unavailable to the masses over there. Yeah. I have a very strong feeling that Halo Infinite. Shout out to last episode. I have a feeling that all future Xbox One titles will be available in a PC form because that opens up all of the China markets. Yeah. I mean,
especially because you're no longer downloading from a disc or playing from a disc. It's all a stream. It's all in the same system. It's all
you just need to have an emulator strong enough to run it. Yeah, it's essentially the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that this is real, and the limitation of the fact that it has to be plugged into your TV just solidifies it more, makes it even more real. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing?
I thought it was bad, but the more you talk about it, I can see it being a good thing. I think it was bad because I thought, like, okay, well, I can't play these games on the go. Yeah. And that's what I thought you were trying to sell me. If you give me some, cool, whatever. But I think, I don't know. It's just whatever to me right now because I'm not going to get games that I thought I was going to get. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool.
Not right now, but it might be coming. Like, what's going to come after the Switch?
Well, then Switch needs to make an upgrade. So now I have to buy a new Switch to play those games.
Well, yeah.
If it's on the go.
I can see a Switch Pro coming out, maybe.
Yeah.
What's nice is it kind of feels... So Nintendo's strongest point has always been mobile games. I mean, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boys have always outperformed...
They've always killed... Yeah, everywhere.
They've always have.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, good. You guys can perform... You guys can focus on that now. Mm-hmm. And Microsoft, it's always been a thing like, oh my god, are they ever going to make a portable system? Now they don't have to worry about it. They kind of got each other's back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, where I think they're going to lose in that is that all these other companies are making such advanced phones now that these mobile gaming devices...
And you can get Xbox Live on there. And there's talks of Game Pass coming.
But you know what?
So why would I buy a Switch?
I'm going to bring this up to you, though, since you just said that. PlayStation now has an update, whatever numbers they are, 6.4 or something like that, that now you could pretty much get the PlayStation on your phone now. So the Vita's out now, and now the buttons for the Vita are on the screen.
Yeah.
Right.
So of course that doesn't feel as good.
Make a controller that fits almost any modern cell phone. You drop your phone in there, just like the VR screens. You know, that fits your phone, and you have your controls for whatever games you want to play. It'll be.
There's no doubt Microsoft's going to do that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be crazy not to. The reason you own it's just the same as with why would you own a Game Boy over, I don't know, whatever. But it's because the handling of a Switch is better. The Switch has more power than your phone does, and the handling is better.
So do you think they'll make something... Do you think the next version of the Switch will be more like a cell phone with like a big like memory in it that'll be like simple, user-friendly for kids?
Well, who needs to back that is Razer. That Razer phone is no joke. They made a number 2, and it's just more powerful. It's brighter. It's gorgeous. I've seen the first one in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing runs and moves so smooth. It's insane that I almost bought it. If I didn't have to like just make the payments on it and just buy it up front, I would have that phone right now in my pocket. But I'm glad I didn't because they made it number 2 right away.
Would Cheddar... Now, this is off topic a little bit, but Cheddar said he was going to buy one. Did he end up buying one?
No, he still has a Samsung phone. I don't know what he's going to do.
I'm waiting for someone to make that leap so I can see how it works.
Man, I'm looking at the number 2 now that I experienced the first one. And I'm close to making a leap just to try something new. I always like new stuff. I always like switching different phones every time the plan runs out or whatever.
It's a good time to get into that too. And I think I think Samsung and Apple needs to get on board with this whole gaming thing because mobile gaming, talk about something that's taken over in China. China's mobile gaming market's huge. And it's big over here too. Nobody talks about, okay, so Activision Blizzard, for example, a company we all like, Blizzard part anyways, is huge, but there's actually one more wing of it nobody talks about. It's King, and that's the one that makes like I think it's the Angry Birds or whatever. They make a huge chunk of games out there, and their top 3 performers is Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and the other one I want to say was Angry Birds, if not like Farmville or some crap like that. But that's nuts. It's like that one of those 3 games is a mobile game and it's propping up the entire Activision Blizzard titles. It's nuts, you know. So I think Nintendo's mobile abilities, if there's a way, I don't think Nintendo would make a Switch Pro. They said that the Switch is going to stay around for a long time. Yeah. Matter of fact, they are releasing a Switch that doesn't come with, I want to say like the toggles or something like that. It's a cheaper version of the Switch they're coming out with. So
then what's your controller when you first buy it?
Well, I think what it is, it'll come out with just the Switch and it's just meant to... Is it meant to stay... It's either meant to stay portable or it's meant to stay on the TV. Something like that. It's coming up. I saw some.
It's a Switch that doesn't quite switch.
Yeah, it's a Switch to switch. Good call.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that Nintendo would make a Pro version, but I could easily see that that would be a smart move to make a Pro version. It's just not Nintendo's MO though. They don't like to make better versions of their systems. Even the Wii U was like a whole new system. Wasn't necessarily an upgraded Wii.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, so here's my question for you. I know what game for sure I want to see the most come over to the Switch. What game that's in Microsoft Library would you want to play the most on your Switch?
Just on the Game Pass library or just anything?
Yeah, Game Pass library, yeah.
Okay, I'll do a different one instead of like my favorites. If I had to go back in time and pick one, and it's on the Game Pass, would be Fable 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about all 3 Fables are on there. I was looking at the first Fable and I was like, it's been a long time since I played that game.
Yeah, heck yeah. I wouldn't mind replaying an old game, just like kind of like that.
And there's no way the Switch can't handle actually downloading that game.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, I mean, if I just had to pick a random game, that'd be one.
If all the 360 titles could be portable,
No, man.
Sold. Yeah. What do you think, John? If there's any game you could bring to the Switch from the Game Pass franchise?
If I was to replay an old game, I'd probably want to get into Halo 2 again.
Halo 2? That's the best. If it had its full multiplayer?
Yeah. I think that was my favorite of the Halos.
And the Master Chief Collection's on the library, so that's in there.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be doable.
Right. My thing I want to play on the Switch so bad, Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah.
I want to play Sea of Thieves on the Switch real bad because
it would lose its beauty though.
No, man.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. I'm thinking handheld though. Are we talking about on the screen?
Well,
how is this gonna work?
I would say you could take the toggles off and play it like you do Skyrim, and you could actually swing your arms to do things. Could you imagine, like, it would be kind of gimmicky, no doubt, but could you imagine, like, playing it even on your big screen and actually moving your arms to do the swings and the charges?
Yeah, but I think we talked about it before where I don't want to wake up or do whatever and work out.
I know, and that's what I'm saying is, like, that's exactly why this move is such a good idea. This is an actual argument for what you were saying earlier. I don't want to do that all the time. But if I'm kind of in the mood to experience it that way, I can on the Switch. Or if I want to see it with all its 4K beauty, I can play it on the Xbox One. Or if I want to just play it on the computer while I zone out at night, I can play it on my computer. That's the future of gaming right there. You can play it how you want to play it. Yeah. But I think that would be really cool on the Switch. If you were actually like lowering the sails with the toggles and stuff, that'd be kind of cool.
And I think once
I guess if they make games that are dedicated like that, they can switch back and forth.
Once they get past the hurdles of the system you're using, and they're all interchangeable, and they all have, you play it however you want to play it, then they could focus more on what's on the other end of it. What's in that server? What are you playing, and how are you playing it with other people and stuff?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of games that are going completely cross-platform, too. I mean, even with the PlayStation, we got Fortnite. Minecraft is both Switch and Xbox.
Yeah.
The first sign that Xbox and Switch or Nintendo were working together was Diddy Kong Racing. My favorite game from N64, probably yours as well.
Yeah.
They re-released it on the DS, And in doing so, they had to get because Microsoft bought Rare, the company that they had to make a deal with Microsoft, and Microsoft was totally cool with it. They let them use the game. They could just not. The only thing is they couldn't put in Banjo and Kazooie. Mm-hmm. Banjo was in the game, and they couldn't use. I think there's a squirrel that was in there too. They couldn't use.
Conquer.
Conquer, yeah, they couldn't use Conquer anymore. But they still released the full game, and it was basically with an agreement that Microsoft was just cool with it.
Yeah.
So they do get along well, and that's like the first sign we saw them just totally getting along.
With this and PlayStation being on its own, they really have to rely just on the games because this is a big friendship that maybe people will just jump over now.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for E3, man. It's gonna be really big. And it's one of those like every E3 that is a console announcement. It's always an argument, especially between you and me, of like who's gonna win the next console war.
Yeah.
This one might be a more what's gonna be the new console war, not necessarily who's gonna win it.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting.
Could you see Microsoft release starting to sell since consoles aren't going to be the same anymore from here on out? Could you see them, instead of selling an Xbox, selling a new system that is an Xbox and a PC in the same, where you can sit and play with your mouse and keyboard whatever PC game they have, and switch over, play your Xbox controller on your TV in the same.
Well, would that take away from their Windows 10 ordeal?
Windows 10 has it, and there's even an ability to stream your Xbox right to your PC too, so you can really play anything.
But I have to have an Xbox and a PC to do that. What if I don't have a PC at my house? I just have my Xbox. I play Xbox games.
Oh, and you wanted to play PC-only games on your Xbox? I can see something like that.
If it was just because,
Like, wow, you wanted to play Blizzard games.
And most people don't have, most average Joes, don't have a gaming computer. But what if you bought what if you have one just for office stuff or whatever, Word, whatnot, and then you bought your Xbox system or whatever, Microsoft system, that is the graphics card and gaming geared computer that can do both systems.
Yeah, a more PC version of an Xbox.
Yeah.
I could see that, yeah.
That'd be cool. Because, like you're saying, they're not going to have disc trays anymore. Everything's going to be streamed, and it's going to be a different version of what we're used to seeing.
That's the biggest thing, too, is we just don't know enough yet. E3 is going to be pretty neat. I was just thinking, I just thought, what would be a good blowback from Sony is if they teamed up with Steam, if they teamed up with Valve, and you could play all Steam games through the PlayStation.
And get all those Steam sales.
I hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy.
Then I probably would go PlayStation.
I don't want to buy
because
system.
the Steam sales are just so damn good.
You were selling me, but if that happens, oh man.
Steam already tried to release. I actually own it. Their own console.
Oh, you bought that thing?
I think I bought. It was during the summer sale. I might have bought just a streamer. I literally got the box in the mail. It's like, sweet. When I move into the new house, I'll hook this up, and I just put it in a closet. Yeah. So that's how much I was excited about it. But it was like 90% off, $5 you can own this thing. So I bought it. So they tried.
So then you would be able to play all those super old games like I brought up earlier.
Yeah, that's just a hypothetical. That'd be cool. Yeah. It's not out there, but
Next thing you know, it's gonna happen.
All right, Sony, I gave you props.
Yeah.
This podcast is it. All the industry insiders are listening to this podcast. They're super excited about it. I have a feeling, guys. All right, so that's the Xbox Switch thing. Our thoughts on that, what we're thinking. We think it's just a new step into the new future. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
We are talking about the new Avengers trailer that just dropped today that we're really excited about. So, John, this trailer dropped and it was pretty nuts, right? It's for Avengers Endgame.
Yep, just came out this morning. It was pretty exciting. And I wasn't too incredibly excited about Avengers before this, but now this really kind of got me revved up.
Yeah, same.
I'm stoked.
I'm excited for Avengers just because it's going to be the finale of 10 years of work,
Conclusion.
A conclusion, yeah. But this one, we finally got to see the effects of Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. And we got a little bit more of an idea of what the story will be like. I like to do before it comes out. Man, it's coming out quick, though.
Yeah. The pre-selling tickets, in beginning of April?
Yeah,
April 12th, they said?
Yeah, and then Hardly Heroes, which is a friend podcast of ours, they actually have their own Avengers screening. Did I tell you about that?
No, you didn't tell me that.
Okay, so they're big time compared to us, right? So
right.
What they do is they've rented out a entire theater, and you can buy tickets for their show, and it's a Hardly Heroes fan experience, I think it's called. I was trying to go do it, but at the time me and Squeaks were building a computer, so I couldn't make it out. But anyways,
is it just one showing, or are they going to do it for?
They're going to show Avengers Infinity War, then Endgame right afterwards.
Nice.
And while you're there, the guys from the podcast are there, and they're giving away stuff like that. They did it for Infinity War as well. So that's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and get into the trailer. Overall, what did you think of it?
I liked it. I liked how much it covered a lot of. It covered a lot of what we can hope to see in the movie. It was pretty in depth.
Yeah.
Some leave a lot to the imagination, but I also like the black and white bit they did in there, where there's a few scenes that you only see. I think it was just red, or maybe there was a couple of blue. But
so a good example is Falcon's goggles have like red in them.
Yep.
And so the entire scene is black and white when you could just see his goggles as he's fighting through like some muck or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting. And they've done a lot of black and white in this, to where we're looking at Iron Man 1. They did scenes from Iron Man 1, the first Thor, first Captain America, and highlights were all in red. I think I've seen this before, like on their movie posters.
Yeah.
So they're kind of bringing that to life.
I believe so. I think I remember seeing a Thor poster where it was just his cape in red.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's...
So one thing we're seeing already from the trailers, and it was kind of evident in the end of Infinity War, is that this is a more solemn and more...
I mean, half of all existence just died.
Right.
So everybody's kind of like, pull back. Whoa, what's going on?
Every piece of footage we've seen so far have been coping with this. And we saw a little bit of fighting in this, which is cool.
Yeah.
But everything's been coping so far. And a lot of that is because the Russo brothers, the directors of this film, they've only been releasing footage from the first couple of minutes. Mm-hmm. They only wanted like the first 20 minutes out there.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've actually seen fighting, which means it's probably later on in the film.
Yeah.
Every so often you'll see a scene that has Scarlett Johansson with longer hair, when she has like the red roots coming in and the blonde on the tips.
Yeah.
Means her hair has grown out, so that's from later in the film. We got to see a little bit of that, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and go over we'll break down what happened in the trailer. All right. Opens up with Iron Man 1 shots, and he's kind of like looking back at it while he's sitting there on the Benatar. He's trying to repair the Benatar and stay alive. It's him and Nebula. Mm-hmm. They're trying to make it back to Earth, and he's sitting there talking. He's making a recording for Pepper Potts, and who is going to be so pissed when he gets home, because the beginning of Infinity War was very clear that she didn't want him out there in space and getting in trouble.
And he's more or less saying, I'm going to do everything I can to make it back to you, right?
Right. Yeah, he's doing his thing. Yeah. And that's kind of the theme of the whole trailer is like, no matter what it takes.
Yeah, there's not a lot of hope, but this is our one last hurrah kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Which is funny because that's exactly... So, it's funny because it's called Endgame, and the second time technically that we heard Endgame in all of MCU, but the time that everybody's remembering is when Doctor Strange says, "This is Endgame, Tony." And it's because Doctor Strange told him, this is the one chance we have of winning Thanos.
Yeah, out of the thousands of scenarios, this is the only one that's...
Yeah, it was 104 million or some random number, I think it was.
And we thought, or I thought, at the end of this movie, that was the conclusion of his projection, his, what do you call that, where we compared a million different scenarios or whatever.
Yeah.
The end of the last movie could have easily not been the end of the scenarios. Maybe in his scenarios, he also projected the time travel and...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that. I thought, well, they failed, but they tried the only possible solution that he was able to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I think even this craziness...
Yeah.
Doctor Strange
them failing and be able to come back from a failure.
He's quickly becoming my all-time favorite Marvel character. Because if you think of how strong he is, he must have predicted Captain Marvel, the fact that they'll use quantum realm to travel back in time. And, so it's pretty crazy. All right, so next we see Captain America's origin. We get to see his first film. And we got a voiceover. And at first we were watching it, we're like, okay, what's that voice? What's that voice?
Yeah. I had assumed it was Scarlett Johansson because later you see her face during that same voice, but you don't see her speaking. And then that's when you pointed out, who'd you say it was?
Agent Carter. Sure enough, like of all characters, it's great to see.
That's cool.
A shout out to Agent Carter. So she's back, Peggy Carter. Just the voiceover, anyways, for the trailer. She's not back as we know so far. I have a feeling that if anybody's coming back, Yeah. But anyways, so you get a little hint of that. Then we see the first Thor, and he's really contemplating the fact that he just lost Asgard and half of universe.
Yeah.
Think of how much Asgard citizens are hit.
Yeah.
So first off, Asgard's wiped out. So all of Asgard was on that ship.
Yeah.
Which was attacked by Thanos, right? Which just got wrecked. So we know that Valkyrie took some of the survivors and escaped. Then you have to assume that half of them got hit by the Snapshot.
Yeah.
So
you probably have maybe 100 people left from his entire civilization.
I'm thinking it's Valkyrie and like 3 dudes that are just like, come on, Thor, go back in time.
Oh my god.
So they're not doing so hot right now.
Yeah.
If well, I don't know. I don't know how the math works with the Snapshot, but possibly the 4 or whoever was left was like, oh, the equation is you technically are the half of Asgard that was going to die. So like, who knows?
I mean, messed up. Yeah. Like everyone else died out of coincidence, but you were the ones that were pre-selected to die in the Snapchat.
The Soul Gem just knew, I like they did the soul and he's like trolling Asgard. Next up, we have Captain America's voiceover, and he's talking about how he's trying to get everybody else to be moving on and stuff like that, and it's really hard to do. And you know, that's true. It's stuff like that we've seen in past trailers where he's sitting there at like a veterans support group and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where he's also a veteran, so it's always kind of something hard that they're dealing with. Plus, he's Captain America, and he just lost half the universe, so he's trying to convince others to move on, but really he's trying to deal with it himself. We saw Captain America and Scarlett Johansson talking, so we're starting to see a lot of like these combinations, because again, this is a uniting of the original team a lot, so we're starting to see some of these relationships come back. Captain America and Scarlett Johansson are excellent together. Sorry, I keep saying Scarlett Johansson, I mean Black Widow.
Yeah.
Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Then we see Ant-Man walking around. Now, the last time we saw Ant-Man, at the end of Ant-Man, he was lost in the quantum realm. You haven't seen the ending of it, so I'm not going to give you too much. You're going to go watch Ant-Man after this.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the first one?
No. Oh, I haven't seen all of the first one. I've seen most of it.
Okay. Watch the first one, but definitely the second one. The second one's what's important now.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be huge for the movie, I'm predicting. So we see him walking around confused, and he's on Earth now, so he's all good.
Yeah.
And he's starting to see all these like missing posters because everybody's missing, and so he's confused.
Yeah.
So he's now understanding the problems that have happened.
So I think we're gonna see, just from what we get in the trailer here, a lot of the trailer is no hope. There's a lot of, you know, like you saw Captain America just trying to find a way to move on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe the first half or first third or whatever of this movie is just going to be them trying to live life or deal with the fact that they lost all these people.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But then when we see Ant-Man, all of a sudden it's like, okay, time travel is possible. He's here. Maybe there's him or Captain Marvel. Somebody ignites this hope of, you know what, we can jump through time. We'll find a way to make it work. And then they start attacking it from that angle or something.
That's another thing too that people are kind of questioning is why is Captain Marvel looking at the age she does when Nick Fury looks like he does.
Yeah.
She doesn't age because of two reasons. First off, her abilities, her Kree blood and her abilities have slowed down her aging process. Plus time dilation. She was in space the entire time, so that also affects things.
Nice.
So she is younger mostly because of her powers. And Nick Fury looks quite older.
Yeah.
I really like Nick Fury in the Captain Marvel movie. It was really good.
They did a good job with that.
Yeah. And then we saw one thing I noticed in the whole trailer. We're seeing a lot more Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Yeah.
We're seeing a lot more Black Widow. She's getting a bigger role and stuff like that. We're also seeing a lot more Hawkeye. He's now considered Ronin and coming back to Hawkeye.
Do you think there's a specific reason why they would want to lean more on those kind of characters?
Two reasons, I think. Nostalgia reason, it reminds us a lot more of the original movie, the original Avengers. The second reason, and I think the most important reason, she's got a movie coming out probably next year.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of getting you used to Scarlett Johansson being, badass.
Yeah, I got you. Help bring her up a little bit. So I was thinking too, I mean, all of this is good, but also that they are the only heroes without powers, right?
True.
They're human, and they want to kind of play in the mindset that man, human or man are real people, not superheroes, but the everyday person and the real heroes that can save the world and save humanity and stuff like that. Really play that up, I think.
It's funny because if you think about the people that are alive, again, it's the first Avengers, but you got War Machine, who's just a man in a suit. Tony, who's just a man in a suit.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Captain Marvel and Thor, they're godlike characters, and then Bruce Banner. But I think the thing about Bruce Banner that'll save the day is his intelligence.
Yeah.
Even in Hulk form, that's going to be a little hint to what I think's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't like that he's able to control that at that point, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like 20th issue in, like not even 20th issue, but that's like the same thing with Spider-Man. A lot of people are like, I want Spider-Man to be a kid. I want him to be a young guy. It's like Spider-Man was only young in the first 20 issues.
Yeah.
After that, he was in college, and then he was like going to the disco, and he was having a full-time job and trying to, have an actual life as an adult. And it's something people don't realize. So that's one of the things that it's hard to reconcile, but
it's like if you made
Hulk had a lot more than just going angry.
Yeah. But him not being able to control his powers is always like a big struggle for him. That was the identity of his character.
Yeah.
It's like if Batman was all of a sudden not
sad about his parents.
Yeah, exactly. He moved on. He went to counseling. He's fine. Yeah. He didn't have to worry about bullets or knives because he was all of a sudden bulletproof. So everything's easy.
Now he's like coaching Robin's soccer team. Stuff like that.
Oh my god.
Being a responsible foster dad.
That'd be amazing.
Oh my god. That would be the most boring issue that I would own for sure.
Right. On the wall.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay, so so speaking of that, we got Ronan and Scarlett Johansson. We see them back together again. I'm gonna call him Hawkeye. It's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because in the first Avengers we really got a unity between the two of them. So I'm super happy to see them back together again. Mm-hmm. In the what's the second one? Maybe it must have been the first one when Hawkeye was kind of like brain was taken over a little bit. Mm-hmm. Was like, oh man, it's heartbreaking because he was like, but she was like the one connection he had. So we get to see that back. We also see him out there like training his daughter and being the family man because that was something we got introduced to in one of the earlier Avenger movies. So it's cool to see that. Well, that's why he's Ronin. You could tell that after the snap, his entire family's gone, and so now he's out on the own and he's just being Hawkeye, but he's like cleaning up the streets of Japan. That's it. Ronin, by the way, is his name when he's not. He can't be Hawkeye because of an agreement with the government.
Oh,
after Civil War.
Is it like his rogue name?
It's his rogue name.
Okay.
So him and Ant-Man signed an agreement. You gotta watch the other Ant-Man.
Right.
Signed an agreement after Civil War to not do their things. And so Ant-Man breaks it, and Hawkeye becomes Ronin.
Okay.
Because he's not Hawkeye now. So it's one of those things. After his family, he just was like, I'm going out there. He's a lot more aggressive. He uses swords a lot now. It's a pretty badass character. So yeah, we see that, and then we see Thor showing off his abilities with Stormbreaker, that badass axe.
God, that looks awesome.
I know. And then we see Nebula kicking ass. I like the idea of Nebula stepping up more because she's always been this character that's in Gamora's like shadow.
Yeah. And we see her working side by side with Tony Stark, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of shows that she doesn't need to be the fighter like Gamora is. She also has the tech and intelligence like Tony Stark. So not necessarily comparing them apples for apples anymore.
She's a little bit Rocket Raccoon too.
Yeah, exactly. So she has not more to offer, but different to offer than her sister. They don't need to be, in a neck to neck race anymore.
Yeah. So much like the Avengers, the fact that we're going to be after this movie, we're going to get basically an entirely new Avengers with Black Panther, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange. It'll be a new core group.
Yeah. And
people will retire. Like Iron Man's probably going to retire. Captain America will either retire or retire forever. We might see Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, and some stuff like that. So a lot of the original crew's gonna be out of the picture now. This is our new stuff. The same thing's gonna happen with Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're gonna get Warlock. He's in hibernation. That process is happening. He'll be in the third movie. I think Nebula will now become a main character in the new movies. I don't think they can get rid of Rocket. Rocket has to be around.
Yeah, there's no way.
He's a real big part of Avengers. We can tell he's in a lot of these shots.
And him and Groot are just like the comic relief.
That partnership, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I just watched because I'm in the process of finishing up this movie, and so I'm like watching Blu-rays instead of like Netflix or TV or whatever. And so I was watching Guardians 2, and I was just like, man, Rocket, he can carry an entire movie by himself.
He could.
He's so good.
He'd make a funny little spinoff or something too.
And it's funny because like Bradley Cooper, after A Star Is Born, is hotter than anything, and so now it's like, oh yeah, that's right, Bradley Cooper's Rocket Raccoon. Guy's worth $1 billion. It's nuts. He can direct. He can direct the next Guardians of the Galaxy. They need a director.
Be a good movie of him like stranded on some planet that's a low tech planet, and he has to develop the technology just to create his own little rocket ship just to get off there. But
that'd be awesome.
In the meantime, he kind of fixes the civilization or something like that.
Well, you know what would be funny is if they did. I mean, I don't like when they do this very often, but they could do a prequel with him because he came from a planet where there was a bunch of animals being experimented on.
Yeah,
and so he could be like the breakout guy, and then he tries to like leader of a Planet of the Apes. Make a Planet of the Apes where it's him. He's Caesar.
Tie into one of the current or future, well, not future Avengers movies, but tie into one of the movies. He wants to go back and destroy this planet or destroy the society, or whatever, and then then you do a prequel that explains that he was actually destroying the lab that was doing all that.
We could probably get some old school Groot in there too.
Yeah.
Which we're probably the next movie, maybe even Endgame. No, not Endgame yet, because he's dusted. But the next movie that we see them all together again, Groot should be about full size.
Yeah.
Or at least a young adult in Groot form.
That's cool.
So yeah. All right. So next we see we got Captain America. He's in the older outfit. That's a little hint that we're going to get a lot of time traveling.
Yeah.
We see Ant-Man as running around in the small form. He's like, it looks like office supplies that he's running on during a battle. We're definitely getting a big battle scene.
Yeah.
You got to look, when you look at the character, like, oh, cool, we get this character back. We get that character. Look at where they're standing.
Yeah, you see black sky, black earth, so it looks like there was
a huge battle.
A big battle there.
Yeah. So I almost, okay, so one big thing, okay, so here's the prevailing idea.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kind of do, we'll just do our pre-Avengers thoughts now.
Yeah.
What we're going to probably see is them use a quantum realm to time travel around, because we see Captain America in the old suit. We see an older version of Iron Man, of Tony Stark anyways. Mm-hmm. So we see like future Tony and past Captain in the same shot together.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a lot of time travel. And then they get these suits we want to make sure to bring up that are the white quantum realm suits. They're going to use the quantum realm to time travel. This is all assumptions, but this is what we're assuming.
Yeah.
How'd you think those suits looked?
They look slick. They look like they could sell action figures. That's all I know.
I kind of think that's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Disney knows the recipe to sell their products.
Oh yeah, that like good example is War Machine. He looks badass.
Oh yeah, and he has two different.
He has two different War Machine suits. So of course, even if you're a collector or not a collector, even if you're a kid and you're like, oh my god, I gotta have War Machine, because I like how War Machine's coming. Actually, he's probably going to be a part of the new Avengers too. Yeah, that's a good way to keep that awesomeness of Iron Man
without keeping the
Tony. Yeah, the expensive Tony. Well, Don Cheadle's not cheap.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what's funny?
But once he's inside the suit, he could be anybody.
Right. Seriously.
Keep the mask on.
Bring back the guy from Empire. I liked him too. But Don Cheadle and I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays Hulk.
Oh.
When they're off screen, they do a lot of interviews together. And what's so funny is they'll spoil a lot of things, like joking around. And they're like, dude, you are in trouble. Kevin Feige's coming for you. He's the one that runs Marvel. He's coming for you right now. Like those two together, they're always pranking each other. They're the funniest two to follow.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So anyways, it all basically boils down to we see Rocket. So it all boils down to the last shot is Thor standing there. He's looking at Captain Marvel, which is the first time we see Captain Marvel in the trailer.
Yeah. He
calls for the hammer, comes right by her face. We see the hair like whiff by her.
Yeah.
And then he stands there for a second and says, "I like this one."
Yeah.
I didn't actually talk to you about this before we started recording. There was like a little like screener release to the guys who run the studios. That like this is what's coming up. So they actually showed a lot. The shot-for-shot description of that release, not the actual trailer itself. They can't be aired. In that, we know that right before then, Captain Marvel's saying, "Let's go kill Thanos." So that's something that they don't show in the trailer, but that's what is happening. Captain Marvel's like, "Look, it doesn't matter what we do to bring people back. Let's just go murder Thanos at least."
So she doesn't want to fix what he did. She just wants to stop him now.
She is an Avenger. So that name doesn't mean that they're not Defenders. They don't stop things before they happen. They're Avengers. When something happens...
Yeah, she's not S.H.I.E.L.D., she's S.W.O.R.D.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing.
Okay.
Yeah. You hit it on something big right there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but the idea is you won't commit the crime because you know you'll have the Avengers avenging it back. That's their deterrence, right? That's the idea. So she's like, let's just go murder Thanos and then we'll figure something out, you know? And so Thor's like, let's do it. He grabs the hammer, right? Yeah. Another thing we don't see that there was in that screener for the producers and stuff like that, for the bigger ups, is Rocket finds that he says when the snap happened, there was an energy source on Earth seen.
Energy signature.
Energy signature on Earth that had never been that big before. And he says there's only one other place that energy signature came from, so that's how they're going to be able to find where Thanos is at, his garden that he's at. He's just kind of retired and like, no, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
So that's they're going to track him down.
That's crazy.
I wonder if they're going to Bifrost or they're going to use the Benatar. I don't know.
What is... Oh, it must be Rocket's technology. But what do they use to track the energy signature of...
It's got to be Rocket.
Yeah. Their ships.
They have so many smart people in the same room right now. So who knows?
Yeah.
I think they kept all the smart ones.
Yeah. And so that scene where we barely see Thor with Captain Marvel, that we can assume is right after they have their what is that? The pager from...
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
So, at the end of Captain Marvel, spoilers if you haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, you should be. There's the pager that's sitting there, right?
Yeah, they have it hooked up to a new power source or something like that, and it's just repeating the signal to try and call Captain Marvel after Thanos' attack.
And so that's probably slightly afterwards. She just randomly shows up afterwards. They're like, oh, it's not paging. Whoever's paging. Yeah. She shows up. It's funny because they don't even know it's a pager.
What the heck? What do we do? How do we get it back on? And then
which makes me feel old because I know what a pager is. Right. But she randomly shows up and like, where's Fury? You know, she's furious. So yeah, it'll be cool to see how much she kicks ass.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
And I wonder I imagine that should be pretty early into the into the movie, but I'm wondering if they're gonna build up to that and go through, like we were saying earlier, maybe they're gonna go through remorse and dealing with trying to cope with life without half the world, half of existence. And then maybe that will come, half hour in or something like that.
I wonder how fast they'll get past the everybody's mourning phase.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to see.
Just because there's so much of that in the trailer, but then again, that could easily be just trying to mislead and not give away too much until the movie comes out.
To kind of explain, like we talked about this right before we recorded, to explain how big this movie's going to be, the Russo brothers are telling Disney, look, this movie's going to be 3 hours long. Disney's saying, like, look, it has to be under 3 hours long. We have to sell this to theaters. They need to fit as many showings as possible into a thing.
Yeah.
People aren't going to sit through 3 hours. Yeah, they will, Lord of the Rings.
Please. Make it 5 hours. I'll stick around.
Right, exactly. So it's so much content that they're having a hard time trying to fit it under 3 hours.
Yeah.
It'll probably be about 2.5 realistically, but the extended cut's going to be badass. It's going to be so much. But yeah, it's funny when Joe's just like, oh, can't you just like cut off the end? Like, no, that's not how movies work.
We'll release a 2.5 hour version and then the 4 hour version, but no, you can't.
Well, the way Joe thought it worked out,
like let people go home early.
Well, Joe just thought, like, Joe's like, why did you just cut the movie to 2.5 hours? Like, no, because then all of a sudden it ends with like them just fighting Thanos and randomly credits roll. Yeah, you got to see how the end works. No, they gotta cut. They gotta cut seconds out of each little scene to cut it down. It's a time. The editors are stressing out right now.
Yeah, somebody blinks and walks away. You cut it out before they turn, just so that you can take out a fraction of a second.
Right, and the problem is as a director, when they see that turn means something.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at camera, if you're looking at a person, and then they say like, "Get the hell out of here," and if they just keep looking at him, it's like, oh, and then it cuts to whatever the next scene is,
or the next shot they're facing a different direction.
But I'm saying, like, if you're looking at somebody who says, "Get the hell out of here," and that person is just staring right back, and then it cuts to another scene. You don't know what the reaction was or anything like that.
He didn't leave. A confrontation pursued afterwards. Yeah.
But if you go 1/2 second longer and the person just turns their face a little bit, you're like, oh, he bitched out. Yeah. Like it changes the entire mood of that character.
Yeah. They
can't cut those seconds out sometimes.
So, we're hoping they don't compromise the feel of the movie by trying to tweak too much of that out.
That's where you get a Last Airbender movie kind of thing, where it's just too much.
There's a lot more than just editing. I've done wrong with that.
We're getting that Netflix show.
Right. Can't wait.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.